Have you ever looked someone in the eyes and something just felt off? They smile. They nod. Maybe they even say they're proud of you. But deep down, something twists inside you. A quiet voice in your gut whispers, "This person doesn't mean it." You can't explain it. There's no fight, no drama, no obvious betrayal. But their energy? It's heavy, hollow, off-key. Their compliments sound like they were copy-pasted. Their laughter feels just a little too belayed. And when you rise, they pause, just for a beat, and then pretend to clap. You're not imagining things. You're not being dramatic. You're picking up on the shadow. Carl Jung, the father of analytical psychology, called it the shadow, the dark, hidden part of our psyche that we don't want to admit exists. It hides behind polite gestures and pretty words, but underneath, it's fueled by resentment, envy, insecurity, and sometimes even hate. And when that shadow comes from someone close, someone you trust, it's dangerous. Because it doesn't attack you openly. It seeps in quietly. It drains your spirit while pretending to be your biggest fan. In this video, we're going to break down 8 unsettling signs that someone close to you might secretly hate you. And no, it's not just dislike. It's deeper, colder, more corrosive. Most people don't see the signs until it's too late. But if you stick with me to the end, sign number 8 might just change the way you see people forever. Let's get into it. Chapter 1. Sarcasm and contempt. The joke that hurts. You're so sensitive. I was just kidding. Sound familiar? On the surface, it sounds playful. But every time they joke, you feel that little sting. You laugh a lot, but something about it leaves a bruise. What if those aren't jokes at all? What if they're precision-guided insults, disguised as human? People who know your insecurities, the ones about your ability, your background, your past, they don't need to scream to hurt you. A little jab here, a sarcastic comment then, all while others laugh along, and you're left feeling small. And if you speak up, you are too emotional. You are overreacting. Carl Jung once said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves." But here's the thing. People who refuse to look inward, they turn that irritation outward, onto you. Their sarcasm isn't about comedy. It's contempt. And their laughter? Just camouflage. So ask yourself, if their jokes always seem to sting, if you feel anxious every time they open their mouth around others, if you cry after laughing with them, that's not a friend. That's psychological warfare. Chapter 2. Subtle sabotage. When help comes with a hidden knife. Ever had someone forget to mention something important? Maybe a job opportunity, a person you should meet, a piece of advice that could have made all the difference. Or maybe they gave you advice that seemed supportive, but somehow led you down the wrong path. The first time, it's a mistake. Second time, maybe coincidence. But by the third or fourth, it's a pattern. They don't stop you directly. They just keep you small quietly, gently. They forget to tell you about opportunities. They give advice that subtly undermines your goals. They don't show up for your wins. They say, "I was just trying to help." But deep down, you know better. Carl Jung. People who feel inferior will try to bring others down rather than rise themselves. These are the people who keep you just low enough so you don't outgrow them. They're scared of being left behind, so they wrap sabotage in smiles. They look like your support system, but they're actually your anchor. If someone's help always seems to come with consequences, if their concern feels more like control, then it's time to ask, are they really helping you? Or just keeping you close enough to keep you down? Chapter 3. Silent competition. You win, their insecurity. You share your good news, a new job, a big win, a little victory. And instead of a cheer, you get, "Oh, cool. Guess what I just did?" Now suddenly, your moment isn't about you anymore. You shine, and they scramble to outshine. It's not obvious. It's not loud. But it's there. That tiny shift in their voice. That forced smile. That subtle attempt to one-up you. Carl Jung had it perfectly again. People who don't take the time to understand themselves tend to react to others out of insecurity. So your growth? It feels threatening to them. You didn't enter a competition. But they did. Silently. Constantly. If your success always triggers comparisons, if every moment of joy somehow turns into a measuring contest, you're not sharing your journey with a friend. You're trying to coexist with a secret rival. And that's exhausting. Chapter 4. Surface-level kindness. Smiles that don't reach the eyes. You hear the words, "I'm proud of you. Wow, that's amazing. So happy for you." But it doesn't land. Your heart doesn't believe it. Their eyes look away. Their tone feels robotic. Their energy is off. That's because real support, it's felt, not just said. True friends show up when it matters. They're present in your highs and lows. They don't just say the right things, they live them. But fake friends? They vanish when things get real. Where they show up physically, but emotionally, they're gone. Cold, distant, empty. Jung referred to this as ego dissociation. When someone is so emotionally disconnected from themselves that they can't truly connect with others. It doesn't mean they outright hate you, but they're incapable of showing you real love or support. They're going through the motions, saying the lines, but the performance feels empty. If someone's kindness always feels like an auto-reply, if their presence fades the moment you need real connection, then you're not in a friendship. You're in a performance. Chapter 5. Control disguised as concern. I'm just looking out for you. This is for your own good. I just don't want to see you get hurt. Sounds calming, right? But then why does your excitement fade around it? Why do your shoulders slump when you share your dreams? Why do you feel like you need to ask permission to live your life? That's not love. That's control in disguise. They don't scream. They don't argue. They guide you, gently, into a cage of self-doubt. You make a decision. They raise an eyebrow. You share a dream. They call it risky. And the worst part? Sometimes they're not even wrong. Their advice sounds reasonable, but somehow, it always clips your wings. Carl Jung once said, people who cannot control their own chaos seek to control others. They don't trust their own ability to grow, so they keep a grip on you instead. And over time, their opinions become your inner voice. You start second-guessing yourself. You ask, what would they think, before moving forward? But real love doesn't make you shrink. Real support doesn't make you feel smaller. If someone's tongue constantly chips away at your confidence, it's not him. It's control. Chapter 6. Gossip and criticism. What they say when you're not around. You walk into a room, and everything shifts. Smiles fade. Conversations pause. People glance your way, then quickly look down. No one says anything directly, but something has been said. That's gossip. And it's one of the quietest, yet most destructive, forms of hate. People who don't have the courage to confront you will talk about you instead. Not your actions. Not even the truth. Just enough distortion to spark doubt, suspicion, mistrust. They won't come at you directly. They'll just slowly chip away at how others see you. Twisting your words. Questioning your motives. Making you look like someone you're not. Carl Jung understood this dynamic deeply. He said, the brighter you light, the darker your shadow appears in the eyes of others. And people who are uncomfortable with your light, your confidence, your peace, your progress, they won't try to grow with you. They'll try to shrink you. Because your growth reminds them of what they're avoiding in themselves. So instead of dealing with their own reflection, they throw shade at yours. They poison the air behind your back, and then smile to your face like nothing's wrong. But here's what you need to remember. Gossip doesn't reveal your flaws, it exposes things. It tells you everything you need to know about how they manage insecurity and conflict. Peaceful people don't need to destroy others to feel whole. So the next time you feel that shift in the room, that cold energy, those sideways glances, don't shrink. Don't chase answers. Just know, their whispers say more about them than they ever will about you. And your silence? That's dignity. That's self-respect. That's power. Chapter 7. No joy in your success. When your growth feels like a threat. They were there when you were down. When you were struggling. When everything was falling apart. They showed up. But now that things are getting better, their support has gone silent. You tell them about a new job, a promotion, a personal milestone. And they say, cool. No celebration. No smile. Just a flat response and a quick change of subject. And it stings. Because you start to realize, maybe they liked you better when you were broken. Maybe your pain made them feel more secure about their own life. Maybe your struggle was something they could relate to. But your success? It makes them uncomfortable. Your shining reminds them that they're still standing still. And even if they say the right words, that's amazing, we're good for you. You can feel their energy shift. Their eyes don't light up. Their tone falls flat. There's no joy in their congratulations. Carl Jung had a powerful insight here. If someone can't be happy for your joy, it's not about you. It's about a battle they're fighting inside themselves. Your progress isn't just a milestone to them. It's a mirror. And in that mirror, they don't see your happiness. They see their stagnation. So they retreat. Not because you've changed, but because your growth reminds them they haven't. And yes, it hurts. Especially when the people who stood with you in your pain won't walk with you in your progress. But don't dim your light to keep them comfortable. The people meant for your next chapter will celebrate with you. Not compete, not retreat, not resent, but rise beside you. Chapter 8. Body language. The truth they can't hide. Words can lie. Smiles can be faked. Compliments can be rehearsed. But the body tells the truth. If someone truly doesn't like you, even secretly, they might never admit it out loud. They might say all the right things. I'm proud of you. You deserve it. You've come so far. But while their mouth says one thing, their body says something else. Their smile feels forced. It disappears before it fully forms. Their eyes avoid yours when you speak about something meaningful. Their arms stay crossed. Their posture leans away. Their tone lacks warmth. They hesitate when clapping. Their hug feels cold. Their presence feels heavy. And you feel it, even before your brain can make sense of it. That's your intuition. Carl Jung said, the unconscious always speaks through the body. When someone harbors resentment, jealousy, or unspoken hatred, their nervous system reacts instantly, whether they know it or not. Their jaw tenses. Their breath gets shallow. Their smile twitches and fades. They blink faster. Their voice goes flat. Their hands get fidgety. These are micro-expressions, tiny leaks of emotional truth that no amount of pretending can cover. And your intuition, your gut instinct, is hardwired to notice them. Long before humans had language, we survived by reading energy, body cues, facial tension, silence. So if you're picking up on something weird, if you feel drained after being around someone who says they can, it's not paranoia. It's perception. But here's the twist. Most people are trained to ignore this. We're told to be polite, to give people the benefit of the doubt, to overlook that gut feeling because they've always been there, or maybe they're just having a bad day. But let me ask you, how many bad days are you willing to excuse before you admit that this is just who they are? You're not crazy. You're not too sensitive. You're tuned in. You're sensing a disconnection between what's being said and what's being felt. That's your soul saying, pay attention. This isn't safe. And when someone's words say friend, but their energy screams threat, that's not a glitch. That's a warning. Conclusion. Choose peace over performance. So now that you've seen the signs, what do? You don't need to start fights. You don't have to expose anyone. And you certainly don't need to beg them to change. All you need to do is protect your peace. Because peace is expensive. And for too long, you've been giving it away to people who never earned it. It's time to set boundaries. Stop over-explaining yourself. Stop hoping that this time, they'll clap. Stop trying to win over people who secretly help you lose. Because the harsh truth, not everyone in your circle is in your corner. Some people aren't there to support you. They're there to study you. Waiting, watching, hoping for a slip. And those people, they don't stab you with knives. They stab you with fake smiles, with delayed claps, with empty compliments and subtle digs. So today, you have a choice. You can keep trying to fit in with people who secretly compete with you. Or you can choose yourself, your growth, your truth, your emotional freedom. Because self-love starts the moment fake love ends. Final thoughts. Realize. If this video resonated with you, if you saw your life between these lines, then you already know the truth. Some of the most painful relationships are not with enemies, but with the people who sit closest to you. Friends, family, coworkers, partners. The ones who say the right things, but feel all wrong. The ones who give hugs, but drain your spirit. The ones who clap, but only after looking around to see if anyone else is clapping first. Carl Jung's work taught us that the darkest parts of people aren't always obvious. They're not flashing neon signs of hatred. They're shadows. Subtle. Quiet. Hidden behind politeness and phrases like, I'm just trying to help. But now you see them. Not with fear, not with bitterness, but with clarity. Because here's the empowering part. When you learn to recognize these signs, you stop internalizing the confusion. You stop blaming yourself. You stop asking, why do I feel so off around this person? And you start asking the better question. What is my energy telling me that my mind has been too polite to accept? It's not weakness to protect yourself. It's wisdom. How to protect your peace without losing yourself. So, how do you move forward now that you're seeing things clearly? Let's break it down. 1. Trust your gut. If your intuition is telling you something's off, it probably is. You don't need a dramatic betrayal to justify walking away. Discomfort is enough. If being around someone makes you question your worth, makes you shrink, or leaves you emotionally exhausted, that's all the proof you need. 2. Set quiet boundaries. You don't have to make an announcement. You don't have to post about it. Just start pulling your energy back. Be less available. Say no without guilt. Let silence speak where words once filled the gap. Not out of spite, but out of self-preservation. 3. Don't try to fix them. You are not their therapist. You are not responsible for healing someone who chooses to project instead of reflect. Let them sit with their own shadows. Your light isn't there to make them comfortable. It's there to lead you. 4. Find your people. Not everyone will compete with your growth. There are people who will clap without comparison. People who will hype your wins, cry through your losses, and hold space for your evolution. Find them. And when you do, pour your energy then. 5. Redefine loyalty. Loyalty doesn't mean staying where you tolerate it. It means honoring your own spirit, being loyal to yourself. If someone's support feels more like surveillance, it's okay to leave. Quietly, peacefully, fully. Signs revisited. A quick recap. Before we close, let's briefly revisit the 8 signs one more time, because remembering them will keep your vision clear when energy gets murky. Sarcasm that stings. When the jokes always cut deep and you told you're too sensitive, you're not hearing humor. You're hearing contempt in disguise. Subtle sabotage. Missed messages, bad advice, and forgotten support aren't just coincidences. They're quiet acts of resistance against your growth. Silent competition. If every win you share turns into a battle for attention, you're not growing with a friend. You're trapped in an invisible rivalry. Superficial kindness. Smiles that don't reach the eyes. Compliments that sound like auto-responses. If their energy feels robotic, their care isn't real. Control disguised as concern. I just don't want you to get hurt can sometimes mean, I want to keep you small, so I feel secure. Gossip and backchanneling. If rooms get cold when you enter, or people act strange with no clear reason, your name might have been in someone's mouth, and not with love. No joy in your success. When your progress is met with silence, subtle shade, or forced smiles, it's not your imagination. It's emotional absence loud and clear. Body language betrayals. The mouth can lie, but the body always tells the truth. And your soul feels it, long before your brain can name it. It's okay to outgrow people. One of the hardest truths to accept is this. Some people loved you most when you were lost. Not because they're evil, but because your struggle made them feel stronger. And now that you're finding yourself, they're losing their grip. But you're not here to live small to keep other people comfortable. You're not here to dance so others don't feel insecure. You're here to evolve, to expand, to take up space. And if that makes certain people uncomfortable, let it. Their discomfort is not your burden to carry. Carl Jung believes that the most dangerous people aren't those who shout their hate, but those who bury it beneath fake loyalty. Smiles without soul, kindness without kin. The kind of people who drain you while hugging you. You've probably met them. You may still be surrounded by them. But now you know. You see the signs. You feel the shift. And you're ready to choose better. The beginning of the real you. If this message cracks something open in you, good. That's what truth does. It doesn't always comfort. Sometimes it confronts. But it always sets you free. So here's what I want you to do next. Share this video with someone who's been second-guessing their relationships. Give them the clarity they've been searching for. Drop a comment and tell me, which of the 8 signs hit the hardest for you? Which one made you say, that's exactly what I've been feeling? And if you're ready for more content that doesn't just scratch the surface, but digs deep into psychology, human behavior, and how to thrive in a world full of masks, subscribe. Because this journey, it's just getting started. We're not here for fake. We're here for real. The raw, messy, powerful real. To understand others, yes. But more importantly, to understand yourself. This is your moment. Your mirror. Your reminder that self-love starts the moment you stop begging others to love you properly. This isn't the end of something. This is the beginning of the real you.